bears fruit. And so the idea is to allow oneself to immerse in that which we want to take root and bear fruit. That is the idea. Please put a chair for Swamiji. There it is. She wanted you to sit in the chair she brought. She wanted to do some seva. The gesture is appreciated. We put out a thing because Gopal is not able to take it, but that time won't work because yoga has to be taught today as well.
Okay.
So let him take it at 6:30. Okay?
I'll speak to him.
So Vedic chanting class is yoga finished by 6:30? Yes? Okay. Vedic chanting class will be from 6:30 to 7. That's why yesterday was off. We were wondering why. Now we know. Okay. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Dayakaram Dayakaram Dantam Dharma Pravartakam Pranamami Dayanandam Madacharya Paramparam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vaivasvataya Nityave Brahma Vidyacharyaya Nachiketaseja. Swamiji, realizing that Kathopanisad would not be represented, asked me to take the one mantra from the Kathopanisad so that on this auspicious day today, nothing from the syllabus is left out, so that we get an immersion into everything. So we will be, he said to me that the mantra, which is very deep, which is, what is that called? Natatra Suryo Bhati na Chandra Tarakam. For want of time, etc., he was able to do just a cursory treatment. And so he asked me to go over that and expand a little bit before getting to the Bhagavad Gita. So this is what we will do. We will chant the mantra because we all know it. Om Natatra Suryo Bhati na Chandra Tarakam Nema Vidyuto Bhanti Kuto Yamagnihi Tameva Bhantamanubhati Sarvam Tasya Bhasa Sarvamidam Vibhati. Just to go over the meanings so that everybody is refreshed. The idea is that the two things. One is, this is a mantra that comes not just in the Kathopanishad, it has also come where? Mundakopanishad also. And it is also there in a slightly different version in the 15th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. Natad bhasayate suryah shashanko na pavakah yadgatva na nivartante tadhama paramam mama. This we chant every day for meal times, so this is also familiar. And so the idea in all these places is the same, which we are about to see. But within the Kathopanishad context, Nachiketa had a little bit doubt. Kaha bhati, kaha vibhati. And that is the answer. So in the Mundakopanishad, the context may be different. In the Bhagavad Gita, again, the context may be slightly different, but the answer is the same, because that is what we want to know. So since we are talking of the Kathopanishad, in the Kathopanishad, he says, Kaha bhati, what shines. Means what shines originally without needing another source of shining. What is it that shines? And then vibhati means that which then illumines something else to quote unquote shine after. So we all want the source, and so Nachiketa basically is asking for the source, because this comes after all the other mantras. How the Surya is there, how the water behaves, all these things we have seen. And then it's the last. This is the last mantra in the fifth subsection of the second Valli. And so therefore it is concluding this with what is really the vision of Vedanta. So simply put, the translation is, we can easily see, na tatra, tatra means there. And what is it there? Tasmin Brahmani. Tatra, the suffix is tral. Tatra, yatra, kutra, sarvatra. And whenever the tra comes, we have to take it in the seventh case. Saptamyastral, there is a sutra. So tatra means tasmin. Tasmin eva Brahmani. In that Brahman alone, when we are talking with reference to that Brahman, sun cannot illumine it. And then what? What about the moon? Moon also cannot illuminate. Why? Moon itself is borrowing the light from the sun. And then the vidyut, which vidyut means lightning, the lightning being feminine. Na ima vidyutaha, because you don't see one lightning, it's always branches off. You can see in the photographs and all, it branches off in the sky. Na ima vidyuto bhanti, plural. And then kutaha ayam agni. What to talk of? Fire, which is what? Man-made. I mean, fire is of course Bhagavan made, but we are used to striking stones together or whatever, doing the arani, etc., and thinking that we are producing the fire for cooking, yajna, etc. So what to talk of this fire? And then tameva bhantam, when that thing alone, because there is something shining. Shining means something that is all illumining, which illumines itself. That's what it is. When that is present, tasya bhasa, because of that light of consciousness, that Brahman, Bhagavan, Bhagavati, that one, because it shines, everything shines after. So vibhati and anubhati are synonymous here. Anubhati means it shines after that. It doesn't shine originally. And so this is the translation. And then basically it answers in all these situations, whether we are talking of the Mundakopanishad, Shvetashvatara-upanishad, Kathopanishad, or the Bhagavad Gita, it answers a very important question. Two important questions. First is, what is the source? Because we are tired of resource. Everything is a resource, and the source is something else. And the source seems to be always elusive. I go here and then there is some more to go, some more to go. There is always a higher up. There is always something that is elusive. Who is the boss of all the bosses? What is it that gaining which? This is the question which every Upanishad in some way or the other asks. Gaining which everything is gained, knowing which everything is known. This mantra answers that question. This is number one. This is on the level of the jignasa, to understand that master key of the universe, of oneself, which unlocks everything as it were. That's why it's an important mantra. The second query and the second curiosity it answers is what? Where is Bhagavan located? Quote unquote location. Because location means what? Where it is understood is where it is located. It is that which doesn't have a location, and that which is all pervasive cannot be really located anywhere. We know this very well. We have been studying about this. It is everywhere. It is in the form of all things. Nothing is away from it. Nothing is beyond it. Natadu atyeti kaschana. We have seen this. Etad vaitat. We have seen all this. And so since nothing is quote unquote beyond it, nothing is away from it, to ask for a location is itself a moot question. However, that jignasa is still there. Look, when we ask for a location for Bhagavan, for Brahman, for Ishvara, Jagat Karanam Brahma, it is not that we are looking to see where it is located. It is to be understood as more from the standpoint of where is it that I should understand it? Where is it that I should understand? So the understanding takes place where? Understanding of everything takes place buddhau, in the buddhi. And here is where the confusion lies. The buddhi has a dual function. One is that it is jagataha upalabdhisthanam. It is the place where the jagat is known, understood. It is where the jagat obtains. The jagat obtains where? In the buddhi, buddha, pot, recognized, hat, cat, mat, rat, all recognized where? In the buddhi alone. Buddhau eva upalabhyate. The whole jagat, everything. And let's not forget the jagat includes one's own body, mind, sense complex. So when I have an understanding, okay, this part of the body is not comfortable, I should shift the posture. Where is that recognized? In the buddhi. Oh, I am very comfortable now. Where is that recognized? Again in the buddhi. A mental restlessness. Where is that recognized? Again in the buddhi. Oh, I have brain fog. Sometimes this is a new thing, new expression which really encapsulates a lot of how sometimes people feel. I have brain fog today. Where is that recognized? Even the fog is recognized where? Is a fogless place, in the buddhi itself. So, if we understand this much, jagataha upalabdhisthanam, where buddhi, buddhau, and then jagataha adhishthanasya upalabdhisthanam buddhihi eva. So the jagat is the place where the buddhi is the place where the jagat is recognized, and the truth of the jagat, the adhishthana of the jagat, that because of which the jagat is existing, that because of which the jagat has come, that because of which the jagat is swallowed up, sustained, etc. What is that? Where is that recognized? That doesn't have a separate recognition place. It has the same buddhi. Same buddhi recognizes both the jagat and the truth of the jagat. This is exactly why the Kathopanisad had to explain in detail what? Paranchikhani vyatrinat swayambhuhu parak pashyati nacha antaratman kaschid dhiraha amritatvam icchan avritta chakshuhu. This is how it was described. Avritta chakshuhu amritatvam icchan antaratmanam aikshat. It takes a lot of effort to not just take the buddhi for granted as that which is only illumining the jagat. The buddhi is to, and if we use the buddhi only to illumine the jagat, when its more important function is to illumine that because of which the jagat even exists, when we do that, that means we are not using the buddhi enough. We are not using the buddhi at all. And this is exactly what Yajnavalkya tells Gargi. In the Yajnavalkya Gargi dialogue, Gargi has been entrusted with the task of forming an assembly of great sages. So she is interviewing all these people. She meets her match when she interviews Yajnavalkya. And so, Kaha Kripanaha, she asks, who is the stingiest person? Stingy person means what? Somebody who doesn't give dhanam, somebody who doesn't even give a smile because every smile is measured. You know, why should I smile at you and get wrinkles quickly? So I'm not going to smile. All these things are in the mind of this person, very, very parsimonious. And in Hindi we have an expression. What is that? Kanjoos, makhi juice. Need I elaborate what that means? No. And so, not necessary. And so the person is so stingy, very stingy, doesn't give at all. And then, so this way, this is exactly what we think. But Yajnavalkya surprises Gargi and everybody else with his answer. Yaha atmanam aviditva asman lokan praiti bhogargi saha kripana. The one who departs this world without knowing the Atma is the conjusest, if there is a word like that, is the most stingy person, the stingiest person in the whole Jagat. One wonders why. Why is that? Because of this. The buddhi has been deployed solely to what? To illumine all the things in the Jagat, but has not been used to illumine that which illumines the buddhi. It has not been used for that. Why? Because paranchikhani, all the golakas, the eyes, etc. are facing outside. So for the buddhi to cognize the jagat, no effort is needed. You open the eyes, form, shapes, colors, galore are there. Ears are open, all kinds of sounds are there. Drums, tanpura, everything. People screaming, birds chirping, everything. It just objectifies everything. And so all the sense organs naturally objectify everything. So the buddhi is the greatest objectifier and is totally stumped when it comes to knowing that which can never be objectified. So we come to the world with two kinds of ajnana. What is that? Atma ajnanam and anatma ajnanam. Baby doesn't know what is mother, what is father. Some vague comforting touch is there, some sound, it is familiar from the womb. It naturally goes to those people, but mother ignorance is there, father ignorance is there. This is my brother, this is my sister, this is my grandfather, grandmother. All this is there. This is my house, ignorance. All the baby has to do is slowly grow up, and the ignorance drops. Anatma ajnanam drops on its own, without any initiative, without any effort. The baby doesn't have to join a class. Who is the mother? Doesn't have to do that. This is your mother. No, it happens automatically, effortlessly, because the buddhi keeps on illumining all the situations. Oh, when I am hurt, who runs and holds me? That must be the mother. That must be the father. The buddhi already illumines this and comes to very intelligent conclusions about the jagat, about its place in the jagat, etc., etc. This is what it does. So anatma ajnanam, the what is called tula avidya, this is the technical term. Two kinds of avidyas. Anatma ajnanam is called tula avidya, and then atma ajnanam is called moola avidya. Tula avidya just drops. We have many tools to let go of tula avidya. It just drops on its own without any effort. But what about moola avidya? Does it drop on its own? No. We have to make an initiative. We have to deploy the buddhi to turn towards itself. And this is exemplified whenever there is a river. The river is going where? To the ocean, and we have so many metaphors about that. Even in the Kathopanisad, that's a different trajectory. Here, when the river turns to itself, turns towards the source, that place becomes a place of pilgrimage. Because this is how we have to turn. We have to make that U-turn. Y-O-U. You turn. You turn back. You look at this. And so therefore this mantra helps us to make that sankalpa, to deploy the buddhi, to look at the truth of itself. That is one thing. And the mantra is very, very deep, because when it says na tatra suryo bhati, the surya becomes the adhishthana devata for the eyes. So the eyes don't illumine. Na chandra, na tarakam. So chandra, taraka, what is the chandra is mind. Taraka, as we saw, it's just various other suns. It's just put there for the alankara in the mantra. So the mind cannot illumine the sense organs. The surya stands for all the sense organs. Mind cannot illumine. Vidyuta. Who is holding the Vidyuta? Vidyuta is the weapon for whom? Indra, Vajra. Indra, if we look at the, what is that called? Yaska's Nirukta. Indriyanam Raja. The one meaning is given. The master of the sense organs. So, na ima vidyuto bhanti metaphorically takes away all the sense organs, inference, every other thing. The to illumine that which cannot be illumined. Because it's not an object. It is the content, the truth of the subject. Kutaha ayam agni. So this agni is nothing, because all these things cannot this thing. Agni is what? Agni is the adhishthana devata of Vak. That's why we have an expression, fiery speech. Fiery speech. And so, Vak cannot illumine. Manaha cannot illumine. And this is brought out very nicely in the Taittiriya Upanishad. Yato vacho nivartante apraapya manasa saha anandam brahmano vidvan na vibheti kadachaneti. Like this. So, yato vacho nivartante. The words come back having beaten a retreat from which truth? Aprapya, along with the mind, aprapya. Not having gained the truth of this being. What is this buddhi? What is this being? So what is the adhishthana of the jagat, including the adhishthana of the buddhi? Buddhi after all is created. So now how to look for the adhishthana of the jagat in the buddhi? Very, very difficult. And some people will say, remove all thoughts. What will happen when you remove all thoughts? Huh? What will happen? Nothing will happen, because the thoughts will come back. Somebody knocks on the door, somebody makes a sound outside, something happens, the thoughts will come back. So remove all thoughts is a very good sadhana, but then We have to be able, we need Vedanta, the light of Vedanta Shastra, to be able to illumine the nature of this thoughtlessness and what is behind this. To illumine that, we need the Shastra. We need verses like this, because otherwise it is just like trying to catch, like the animal trying to catch its own tail. Sometimes, the dog runs like this, and there it is cute, but when we try to do that, it is totally uncute. So then how to illumine that which is not an object? Well, thankfully it need not be illumined. Why? Because the subject that we speak of is Svatasiddha Vastu, whereas the Jagat is Sadhya Vastu. Sadhya, to be illumined, Siddha, the illumination is accomplished. The buddhi is like that which has lights everywhere, always. Light here is upalakshana for knowledge. Knowledge is seen as light because even in everyday language we say we need to throw the light. We need to throw the light on something. Please throw the light on this verse, we may ask. So like this, so the light becomes synonymous with knowledge. So then we have thought number 1, and then we have thought number 2, and then we have thought number 3, 4, 5. They are coming in quick succession. It's an active day. Every day is an active day for the mind. And the mind has to move from thought to thought to thought, otherwise how will it be? It has to move from thought to thought. It can't just be in one thought, otherwise one will be in a vegetative state. It has to move. Chanchalam hi manaha. This is what we have seen in the Bhagavad Gita. It has to move. But then the movement of the mind, the buddhi, teaches us that which is observing the movement. Teaches us that there must be something stationary which observes the movement. So we look at every thought and we find that there is an invariable component in every thought, which is what? Aham 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 iti sakshat, sakshi rupena bhasate. That which shines as the witness, I, satatam, nirantaram, without a break. It doesn't take a break. Alupta drik. It is even objectifying the sleep, where the rest of me takes a break. It is objectifying the sleep, it is objectifying everything. It is that alupta drik means Atma does not have, it's the seer without eyelids. Pujya Swamiji used to show it like this. So he used to show it like this. Because even when you have a nimeshanam, which means blinking, you may miss something. That's why you say, this person stole my bag in a blink of an eye. So in a blink of an eye, many things can happen. In a blink of an eye, people can get married, people can get separated, people can make off with your possessions, anything can happen. And so therefore, no eyelids, doesn't blink, sees everything. Sees means illumines everything. Illumines the knowing of something and illumines also the not knowing of something. Which is what brings us to the ashram. I don't know myself, that's why I am here. Means what? I am illumining, the buddhi here is illumining what? My ignorance. So therefore, that which is stationary, it takes first, the attempt is deliberate to connect to that which is still. Right now, it is the sakshi. And then after that, the sakshya, that which is to be illumined, drops. And all that is left is the illuminator, who is not really a trich pratyaya, an agent now. The illuminator is not one who is taking a flashlight and going about the day. The illuminator is like the sun who just shines, whose nature it is to shine. So every thought has this invariable component, and that component is I, indivisible, non-dual I. And then the variable component or aspect in every thought is the object of thought. Object of thought changes. Hat, mat, cat, bat, rat. One thing after the other discreetly. But there is one person who is constant, who is there all the time. The one that illumined the arrival and the departure of the cat, the arrival and the departure of the rat, the arrival and the departure of bat. And if you want to say this in Sanskrit, you say Ghata Patha Matha. Okay? And same thing. Ghata Patha Matha. Ghata comes, Ghata goes. Pata comes, Pata means cloth. Pata goes. Matha, you think of an ashrama, Sringeri Matha and Kanchi Matha. Matha comes, Matha goes. In English, you can make it hat, bat, cat. That's all. So, in and through the comings and goings, what is constant is me, and it is very easy, at least in the beginning, it's a little deliberate, but slowly it becomes natural to connect with and to identify with that which na udeti na astameti bhati ekadha chitihi. This is chit. That is the first place. That chit connection is the connection of the jiva, of oneself to the Mahavakya. Where I can insert myself in the Mahavakya is through chit. This conscious being that I am, this consciousness. Then if this much is understood, I see that the buddhi illumines everything. But then the question is, what illumines the buddhi? What is it that illumines the buddhi? Then we have to go one more step. And that cannot be logically established. We can't be Tarkikas, Vaisheshikas, and what are the other fellows called? Naiyayikas, Vainashikas, all these things. We cannot be that. Because logically you cannot say, there is no logic there. It is outside the scope of inference. That's why all these articles sometimes come, Veda is scientific. Veda is not meant to be scientific. Veda is itself its own pramana. Science is itself its own pramana. Science is based on inference. Veda is not based on inference. Veda is its own. Veda is a revelatory shastra. It reveals. And so therefore the Veda here tells us that this is alone, this is the final stopping point. You don't go somewhere else to borrow this light from that consciousness, another consciousness, yet another consciousness. Otherwise we'll be here till the next VijayaDashami, because we'll keep on going in the infinitude of regress. We don't want infinite regress. We want to know the infinite as ourselves. That is what we want. And so therefore, to understand this, that in and through every thought, that which illumines the arrival and the departure of the thought is myself alone. And that myself need not be illumined. That's the beauty of it. Here I don't even need the Shastra. I know that I am. I don't need the Shastra Pramana. Do I exist? Okay, let me look in the Mundakopanishad to see if it tells I exist. No. I know I am. And I am the witness of my ignorance, of my knowledges, everything. Even that which illumines the I don't know, meaning which never becomes I don't know. If there is something that illumines I don't know, the expression I don't know, that means it is never ignorant. That is what Chit, all-knowing Chit, I am. This is what is meant. This is what is Bhati. This is what is Bhati. The Buddhi itself is illumined by which consciousness, and that consciousness alone I am. This is the second level of Nididhyasana. First level, that Buddhi illumines everything except me, and then the Buddhi itself is illumined by me. Then the third level is what? Third level is to bring back that which is the object of being illumined, because now we have two illuminator, I, and the whole Jagat which is illumined. Now there is Dvaita, correct? As though. We can't leave it there. The third and the final level of understanding is seeing that the object is never away from the subject. Object is dependent upon the subject. An object resolves into the I, which is the subject. The subject I is irresolute, unabashedly so. Irresolute, does not resolve into anything ever, ever. This is what the thing is. So the object and the subject and the object are not two separate things. Subject I, which is Satyam. This is where we bring the Sat, which is already I have understood as Chit. I have understood as that consciousness. And then what is that consciousness? It is that which exists, which is the only thing that exists. I am the only thing that is self-existent. Everything else exists after. Not only shines after. Shines after is given so that we understand the Mahavakya. But ultimately I have to see that I am the source of existence. This self-illumining consciousness is the source of existence. Everything exists after me. Why? Because the pot does not have the ability to say, I am pot. Thank God. Otherwise everybody will have opinions, all other things will have opinions. The microphone will say, I am tired of amplifying you. I have a few thoughts on Vedanta of my own. I have listened. I would like to say a few things, you keep quiet. It can say. The asana which we sit on can say, ow, you have put on weight, get away. It can say, thank God. And you eat with a spoon, and the spoon will say what? Why you should eat? I am hungry. There are certain things which shine after, which exist after me. They also exist. They are also Satchidananda. Satchidanandatvam in them is latent. So this is where we have to see that this is the mithyatvam of the Jagat. Everything exists, but that existence is dependent upon me, which leads us to that famous Zen, what is that called? Kovan or cone, something. Yeah. If you say cone, don't mistake it for ice cream cone, that's all. Yeah. So this Zen kovan is there. If a tree falls in the forest, will it make a sound? And Kotidvayam will be there, Pakshadvayam, two kinds of things will be there. One person will say, of course it will make a sound. Let's say the person is a scientist, physicist. They will say, yes, this tree is this many meters tall and it is falling with this particular velocity, 32 something per second, etc. It's falling with this particular velocity and then it will make this much sound because it has this mass, it has this volume. The Vedantin will come and say, yeah, you are right, but can the sound be called a sound without a pair of ears? Is it a sound? And that's a very sound question. Is it a sound if there are no pair of ears to objectify it? I objectify the sound, I objectify the absence of sound also, because in between the absence of sound, what is there? I am. I know that I am, I know the absence of sound, I know the presence of sound, I know the presence and absence of everything in the Jagat. So this is Asti, Aham Asmi. Chit we have already seen. Asti, Asti, Asti. And this Asti, my Asti is the original Asti, if I can be excused for using the word. Bhati, Asti, and all other existence is dependent upon that itself, nothing else. It's dependent upon that itself, nothing else at all. And then, what is this? So then what? The Jagat is swallowed up. The Jagat, the Astitvam of the Jagat is swallowed up into that unending, always live-streaming consciousness. The live stream that is never disrupted by any outage. There is no internet, doesn't matter. It still live streams, live stream. There is a whole thing, that unending stream of consciousness, which is I, obtaining as the self-illumined I, aham, sakshat, directly. And then finally, that leads us to what? Ananda. Because the streaming is what? Limitless. The consciousness is limitless. And the number of things that it can illumine, limitless. Totally limitless. This is just so fascinating, so wonderful. This answers the question or the jignasa. What is that? What is this? What is this bhati vibhati? This is Nachiketa's question. This answers that. Then the next one is the so-called where is Bhagavan? And everybody says Bhagavan is inside oneself, inside the buddhi, etc. To a certain extent they are not wrong. In Vedanta we clarify that. And we'll just visit the same mantra in the Bhagavad Gita. So Lord Krishna is giving his address. Where is my location? GPS coordinates of Bhagavan. What does he say? Natad bhasayate suryaha. You please come and visit me. Take the time to visit me, but please know what is the landmark? Are you next to a big shop or a factory or a tree or something? Where are you? Well, I am there where the sun does not shine. Oh, okay. Moonlight. Okay, very nice. Cool, Bhagavan, wonderful. And natad bhasayate suryaha. Na shashankaha. And then shashanko na pavakaha. Na shashankaha first, no moon. Oh, okay, candlelight. Bhagavan wants me to meet Bhagavan in candlelight. How wonderful, very nice. Na pavakaha, no firebrand, no candles. Oh. Is this like a black hole? Is this pitch dark? And then, shashanko na pavakaha. And then, what's the next line? Yadgat, even scarier, it gets scarier. Yadgatva, having gone where, you don't come back. This is why there is a fear of understanding this. It's a point of no return. It's a point of no return, not like a black hole through which nothing escapes except a few streams of light called Hawking's radiation. That's all there is. But no, it is not like a black hole which is like a vacuum which swallows everything up. Not like Vishvarupa, which is a fiery mouth which takes away everything. No. Knowing Bhagavan as the adhishthana of the whole Jagat, which is available ever, always in my buddhi, is not going to decimate me, is not going to have any change in me other than that which is glorious. Bhagavan's glory is taken as my own glory, and that's all the change that is. The change from ajnanam to jnanam, you have nothing to lose except your ignorance. That's all there is to lose. And when do we want to lose the ignorance? Yesterday. That is what. There is an urgency, there is a jignasa, there is a mumuksha. And so the fear is that once I understand this, that means I have to just, I have to not look at the world. I have to not be connected to anybody, and I will lose all connections. No. In fact, they will be more dispassionate. They will, because everything is Ishwarized, they will be stronger, they will be glorious, and as glorious as you are. That is what it is. It is just very, very beautiful, very, very deep. And then we will chant the little switch now. We will chant the Bhagavad Gita verses, and then we'll look at them at 4 o'clock, and also later in the satsang hour, 8:15 also, there will be Bhagavad Gita class. Continuing. Amanitvam adambhitvam ahimsa kshanti rajavam आचार्योपासनं शौचम् स्थैर्यमात्मविनिग्रहः इन्द्रियार्थेषु वैराग्यम् अनहङ्कारमेव च जन्म मृत्युजरा व्याधि दुःखदोषानुदर्शनम् असक्तिरनभिष्वङ्गः पुत्रदारगृहादिषु नित्यं च समचित्तत्वम् इष्टानिष्टोपपत्तिषु मयि चानन्ययोगेन भक्तिरव्यभिचारिणी विविक्तदेशसेवित्वम् अरतिर्जनसंसदि अध्यात्मज्ञाननित्यत्वम् तत्त्वज्ञान what is that? एतज्ज्ञानमिति प्रोक्तम् अज्ञानं तद्यथोऽन्यथा ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्तिः 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 हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ